The silence inside the hospital room felt heavier than ever before. Machines beeped softly in the background while exhausted parents tried to hold on to hope. Just 1 month ago, everything surrounding baby Henry's birth turned into a terrifying nightmare for the Bates family. And now, exactly 1 month later, Erin Bates is finally opening her heart to fans with an emotional message that has left many people in tears. For longtime followers of the Bates family, this moment feels deeply personal. Fans watched Erin Bates grow from a cheerful young woman on reality television into a devoted wife and mother. Through every pregnancy, every family celebration, and every difficult challenge, Erin always tried to stay strong in front of the cameras. But this time was different. This time, fear nearly took over everything. According to Erin, baby Henry's arrival was nothing close to the peaceful experience she had prayed for. What was supposed to be one of the happiest days of her life quickly became one of the most traumatic moments her family has ever faced. Doctors rushed around the delivery room. Nurses moved urgently between machines and monitors, and in the middle of all that chaos, Erin could only focus on one thing: whether her baby boy would survive. The reality star admitted that there were moments she felt completely helpless. She described hearing medical terms she never expected to hear connected to her newborn son. Every second felt longer than the last. Instead of immediately celebrating Henry's birth with smiles and happy tears, the family found themselves surrounded by fear, uncertainty, and emotional exhaustion. Yet, somehow, through all the pain and panic, baby Henry kept fighting. That's why Erin now calls him her miracle baby. In a deeply emotional social media post shared exactly 1 month after the traumatic delivery, Erin poured out her feelings in a way fans had never seen before. She shared photos of tiny Henry wrapped carefully in soft blankets while sleeping peacefully beside his mother. But it wasn't just the photos that captured attention, it was her heartbreaking words. Erin wrote that the past month completely changed her perspective on life, motherhood, and faith. She explained that holding Henry in her arms now feels like holding a miracle she almost lost. Every tiny movement, every little cry, and every peaceful moment reminds her how precious life truly is. The message quickly spread across social media, with thousands of fans flooding the comment section with prayers and emotional support. Many mothers shared their own traumatic birth stories, saying Erin's honesty helped them feel less alone. Others admitted they cried while reading her message because the pain and gratitude in her words felt so real. For the Bates family, emotional struggles are nothing new. Over the years, fans have watched the family face health scares, relationship challenges, and difficult personal losses. But this particular experience appears to have shaken Erin more deeply than almost anything before. Close followers noticed that Erin had remained unusually quiet after Henry's birth. While the family normally shares joyful updates quickly, this time there was silence. That silence led many fans to suspect something serious had happened behind the scenes. Now, with Erin finally speaking publicly, people are beginning to understand just how frightening those first days truly were. Sources close to the family claim that the first week after Henry's birth was emotionally overwhelming. Erin reportedly spent long hours sitting beside her baby, barely sleeping, constantly checking monitors, and praying everything would stabilize. Family members tried to stay positive, but privately, everyone feared the worst. Even now, 1 month later, Erin admits she still struggles emotionally when remembering the delivery room experience. Certain sounds and memories immediately bring her back to those terrifying moments. She says the trauma doesn't simply disappear overnight, especially for a mother who nearly lost her child. But despite the emotional scars, Erin says Henry's strength continues to inspire her every single day. She described how watching him grow stronger week by week has restored hope inside their home. Little milestones that once seemed ordinary now feel extraordinary. A peaceful nap, a healthy feeding, a small smile. To Erin, those moments mean everything now. And perhaps the most emotional part of her message came when she directly addressed baby Henry himself. She called him brave. She called him strong. And she thanked him for fighting so hard to stay alive. Fans immediately reacted emotionally to those words, with many saying they could feel a mother's raw love in every sentence. Some even described the post as one of the most honest and heartbreaking things ever shared by a member of the Bates family. Meanwhile, support from relatives also began pouring in publicly. Several Bates siblings reposted Erin's message alongside their own emotional tributes to baby Henry. Family members described him as a blessing and praised Erin for remaining strong through unimaginable fear. Even though the family is finally experiencing calmer days, insiders say the emotional recovery process is far from over. Traumatic births can leave lasting mental and emotional effects on parents, especially mothers who experience fear surrounding their child's survival. Erin herself admitted that she still becomes emotional whenever she looks back at photos taken during those first difficult hours. But through everything, her faith appears to have become even stronger. In her message, Erin repeatedly spoke about gratitude for doctors, gratitude for prayers, and gratitude simply for being able to hold her son today. She said there were moments during the ordeal when she honestly did not know what the outcome would be. And that uncertainty changed her forever. The emotional story has now sparked widespread conversation among fans about the hidden realities of childbirth trauma. Many praised Erin for showing that even public figures who appear joyful and strong can silently battle fear, anxiety, and heartbreak behind closed doors. For now, though, the Bates family seems focused on one thing only: cherishing every moment with baby Henry. And after everything they survived together, it's easy to understand why. As Erin's emotional message continued spreading online, fans started noticing something else hidden beneath her words: guilt. Not guilt because of anything she did wrong, but the painful guilt many mothers experience after traumatic childbirth. In her post, Erin hinted that there were moments she questioned herself endlessly during Henry's difficult arrival. She wondered if she had missed warning signs. She wondered if she could have somehow protected him more. And most painfully, she wondered why her newborn son had to suffer so much immediately after entering the world. Those thoughts reportedly haunted her during the first few weeks after delivery. According to people close to the family, Erin barely wanted to leave Henry's side in the hospital. Nurses allegedly encouraged her to rest, but she refused to sleep for long periods because she feared something might suddenly go wrong again. Every small change in his breathing reportedly terrified her. Every medical update made her heart race. For parents experiencing traumatic births, that fear can become overwhelming. And for Erin, whose life has always centered around family and motherhood, the emotional pressure became even heavier. Fans noticed the change in her appearance almost immediately after she finally returned online. Normally energetic and cheerful, Erin appeared emotionally drained. Her smile seemed softer, quieter, almost fragile. While she still expressed gratitude, many followers could see the exhaustion behind her eyes. And yet, despite everything, she continued trying to stay strong for her children and husband. Sources say Chad Payne became Erin's biggest support system throughout the ordeal. During the terrifying hospital moments, he reportedly refused to leave either Erin or Henry alone. Family insiders described Chad as calm on the outside, even while privately terrified inside. At one point during the medical emergency, doctors allegedly needed to act quickly to stabilize baby Henry. Those tense moments reportedly left both parents fearing they might hear devastating news at any second. Even now, relatives say Chad becomes emotional whenever discussing that night. Still, the couple has tried to focus on gratitude instead of fear. In another emotional section of her message, Erin explained how the experience completely transformed the way she views everyday life. Before Henry's birth, busy schedules and daily responsibilities often consumed her attention. But now, she says, even ordinary family moments feel incredibly meaningful. Watching her children laugh together, holding Henry during quiet nights, hearing the sounds of her family safe inside their home. Those moments now feel priceless to her. Fans connected deeply with that honesty. Thousands of comments flooded social media from parents who experienced NICU stays, emergency deliveries, and frightening complications with newborn babies. Many thanked Erin for speaking openly about the emotional aftermath instead of pretending everything was perfect immediately after birth. One fan wrote that traumatic childbirth stories are often hidden because mothers feel pressured to appear strong and happy instantly. Another said Erin's vulnerability may help other women feel understood during their own healing journeys. The emotional reaction online only grew stronger after Erin shared another heartbreaking detail. She admitted there were moments during Henry's first days when she was afraid to become too hopeful. That single sentence shattered many fans emotionally. The thought that a mother could feel afraid to hope for her baby's future revealed just how serious the situation truly became behind closed doors. While the Bates family never publicly revealed every medical detail, Erin's emotional words painted a picture far more frightening than many originally imagined. Some followers even began revisiting earlier family updates, noticing subtle clues that now make sense in hindsight. The delayed photos, the unusually quiet social media presence, the emotional tone from relatives. Looking back now, fans believe the family was quietly fighting through one of the hardest moments they've ever faced together. Despite everything, baby Henry's progress over the past month appears to have brought enormous relief. Erin described him as growing stronger every day. She shared that hearing his healthy cries now brings tears to her eyes because there was once a time she feared she might never hear them normally. She also revealed that simple milestones now feel like miracles after nearly losing him. Even members of the extended Bates family reportedly became emotional meeting Henry for the first time after the traumatic birth. Several relatives allegedly broke down in tears simply holding him, knowing how close the situation may have come to tragedy. For longtime fans of the family, the situation has also changed how many people view Erin herself. Over the years, she often appeared as one of the calmest and most composed members of the Bates family. But this experience exposed a far more vulnerable side of her. A mother terrified of losing her child, desperately holding on to hope while trying not to fall apart emotionally. And according to supporters, that honesty made people admire her even more. Some fans are now calling Henry's survival story one of the most emotional chapters the Bates family has ever publicly shared. Others believe Erin's openness about trauma and healing could encourage more conversations about maternal mental health and postpartum emotional struggles. Meanwhile, Erin says she still has difficult days. There are moments she suddenly remembers the fear. Moments when anxiety returns unexpectedly. Moments when she watches Henry sleep just to reassure herself he's okay. But she also says those fears are slowly being replaced with gratitude, love, and hope for the future. And perhaps the most powerful thing about Erin's emotional message wasn't sadness at all. It was survival. Because 1 month ago, the Bates family faced terrifying uncertainty inside a hospital room. Today, they're holding a baby boy they now call their miracle. And for Erin Bates, that miracle is something she says she will never take for granted again. As the emotional story surrounding baby Henry continues touching fans around the world, many people are now asking the same question. How does a family truly move forward after surviving something so terrifying? For Erin Bates, the answer seems to begin with gratitude, faith, and a completely new understanding of motherhood. In the final part of her emotional message, Erin reflected on how close her family came to heartbreak. She admitted that before Henry's traumatic birth, she believed she fully understood what it meant to treasure her children. But after spending days fearing for her newborn son's life, she now sees motherhood through an entirely different lens. She explained that trauma has a strange way of changing ordinary moments forever. Now, when she rocks Henry to sleep at night, she doesn't see routine exhaustion. She sees a miracle she once feared might disappear. When she hears him crying from another room, she no longer feels frustration from sleepless nights. Instead, she feels relief because his cries mean he's alive, healthy, and growing stronger. Those deeply personal admissions left many fans emotional because they revealed just how profoundly the experience impacted her mentally and emotionally. Some supporters even described Erin's words as the kind of message people never forget. And while baby Henry's recovery appears positive now, the emotional scars from those frightening hospital days still remain very real for the entire family. According to insiders, certain moments still trigger emotional reactions inside the Bates household. Family members reportedly become quiet whenever discussing the delivery room experience. Even joyful conversations about Henry's future sometimes bring tears because everyone remembers how uncertain things once felt. For Erin especially, healing appears to be happening slowly. Close followers notice that she now speaks differently about life in general. Her recent posts focus less on perfection and more on gratitude. Instead of presenting an image of a flawless family life, she seems more interested in showing honest emotions, difficult moments, and appreciation for simple blessings. Fans believe that shift happened because trauma often changes priorities permanently. One emotional moment from Erin's message especially captured attention online. She revealed that during one of the hardest nights after Henry's birth, she sat beside him quietly praying while watching hospital monitors glow in the darkness. She admitted she felt completely powerless in that moment. but she also said something changed inside her during those hours. She realized how fragile life truly is. And since then, she says she has promised herself never to take a single day with her children for granted again. That statement alone triggered thousands of emotional reactions across social media. Parents everywhere related to the fear of nearly losing a child. Others admitted Erin's story reminded them to appreciate loved ones more deeply. Meanwhile, baby Henry himself has unknowingly become a symbol of hope for many followers. Fans now regularly refer to him as the miracle baby in comment sections and fan discussions. Supporters continue sharing prayers, encouragement, and emotional messages for the entire family as Henry reaches new milestones each week. Some people also believe Erin's story helped reveal the hidden emotional reality behind social media motherhood. Online family photos often appear perfect and peaceful, but behind those smiling pictures can exist fear, trauma, sleepless nights, and emotional battles nobody sees publicly. Erin's willingness to speak honestly about those struggles may be why her message connected with so many people emotionally. Even now, 1 month later, fans continue analyzing every new update from the Bates family, searching for signs that healing is truly happening. And thankfully, recent updates appear increasingly hopeful. Henry reportedly continues growing stronger. Erin appears more emotionally stable. And the family is finally beginning to experience peaceful moments again after weeks of fear and uncertainty. Still, the emotional impact of the traumatic birth will likely stay with them forever. Near the end of her message, Erin shared perhaps the most heartbreaking realization of all. She admitted that before this experience, she sometimes worried about small daily problems that now seem meaningless compared to nearly losing her son. Arguments, stress, busy schedules. None of it feels important anymore. Because surviving something so terrifying completely changed her perspective on what truly matters in life. And in one final emotional line directed toward baby Henry, Erin promised she would spend every future day reminding him just how loved he is. That sentence alone brought many fans to tears. Because after everything this family endured, the fear, the trauma, the sleepless nights, and the uncertainty, their story ultimately became one about survival, hope, and unconditional love. For longtime Bates family followers, baby Henry's journey may become one of the most unforgettable chapters they've ever witnessed. A child once surrounded by fear inside a hospital room is now surrounded by prayers, gratitude, and overwhelming love. And for Erin Bates, that miracle is something she says she will carry in her heart for the rest of her life.